Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see here, if you're familiar with these older drones, I've got the MJX Bugs 3, this brushless quadcopter. It's just a classic. If you're new to the hobby, you may not be familiar with this, but if you've been around for a while, you know this is one of, in my opinion, the best drones ever made. I would say this is probably the best non-GPS drone that's been ever made. This thing is just fantastic. It probably does about 50 miles an hour. It comes with a 2S LiPo battery, but you can use a 3S on this. The ESCs actually can handle it if you can find a 3S that fits in here. So you guys can see you step over into the shade a little bit more. You got this white LED on the front of the nose, and you got a white LED under the arm here. And I'm not sure, I can't remember if the back lights up as well when we're in the air, but there's definitely LEDs on each of the arms. Right now I just see the white in the front. And this one's a blue one. Drocon used to sell this on Amazon and rebranded it. I used to have a red one as well that I actually ended up busting that one, but this is just a fantastic drone. You can clip a GoPro mount that comes with these, so you can put a camera on there. So I just wanted to take it up here real quick and just fly it around. I flew it the other day, and it just, you know, I love getting this drone out occasionally and flying it because it's just so much fun. And it's a bit windy, so I put my wind back to the wind here. But so if we have a lot of wind in the mic, that's why. But this drone can handle the wind, especially if we go up into the second rate, which I think it was. There we go. So we'll go up in the second rate. You'll see just how aggressive this drone is. So we're gonna go ahead and unlock it by doing a quick press on the red. We should be able to. Now let's figure out what's going on. Oh, the throttle needs to be down. You know, this is not an altitude hold drone, so if your throttle is not all the way down, it's going to beep at you like that, and it's not going to fire up the props. And you have to go ahead and just give it throttle. It doesn't do any auto takeoffs. As you can see, it is fast. And it is full manual. So fighting that wind here, you can see in the highest rate, it's struggling a little bit, but it's okay. Now with the wind to the back, it's gonna really book. I'm gonna try to keep it sort of close here just because of the wind, even though this drone is gonna be able to handle that. This wind is gusting over 20 miles an hour today. So it's going to not be the fastest into the wind. As you can see, it's not doing a whole lot there at times because that wind is so strong. Just kind of go this way so I can kind of bring it closer. So I'm not gonna be able to fly it real far away and stuff because of that wind. Let's make sure we're in that second rate. Oh, no, I may have been in the first rate. Let's bring it back here so I don't lose it. Oh, it's coming back. Yeah, that wind is something else. I think I may have been in the first rate. That's why it was really struggling there. I thought I had it in the second. Let's just land it here so I can kind of reposition myself. Well, that was kind of a rough landing. A long press on that red button will actually then stop the motors once you land. So I thought I was in the highest rate there, but obviously I wasn't. But yeah, this thing is awesome, but obviously today is not the greatest conditions, despite the fact this thing has a lot of power. You know, that wind at times is really pushing it around. So what I was trying to get at is this is not a drone for a beginner. If you fly mostly GPS drones and you're just accustomed to those, because yeah, let's face it, they're easy and fun to fly, and you try to fly this, you're probably going to end badly and crash. Not everybody. I've seen some people that flew mostly GPS and take off with this and do okay. But you're probably going to need some practice. But yeah, we've got a lot of wind today. This isn't a drone that's gonna sit and hover unless you are in really calm conditions and you've got you got trimmed up good and everything. But really powerful drone. I'm gonna try to take it over this way into the wind a bit. I'm gonna keep my back to the wind here. Let's try to limit some of that noise because you guys can well see how fast it's gonna go with that with the wind here. Here it goes, look at this. It is really quick, especially the wind in its back. I think this is probably, we used to say it probably does around 50 miles an hour. And it's certainly gonna do that with the wind at its back. But yeah, we're not gonna go very quick into the wind. And again, this is just full manual. It's stabilized and that's it. There's no altitude hold, no GPS, nothing like that. So if I cut the throttle, it will completely stop the motors, which is something you won't see in those toy drones, especially those altitude hold drones won't. The old school toy drones, you could cut the motors on those if they were like this. It was, you know, full manual is what you used to call those. I mean, it really technically full manual would be acro mode where it's no stabilization, but on these we usually just refer to them as full manual. And yeah, it's a fun drone, and you can see that white LED in the front is really helpful with orientation. You get out of the ways with this drone, even though it's fairly large. This drone, you know, you can lose your orientation pretty quick, and that yaw's pretty fast. This drone's pretty big, so this drone's going to be one of those drones that, you know, I'm sure would fall into that remote ID stuff, and there's no GPS, but it's well over 250 grams. I can try to do a few flips here. It's, you know, see if we can, how it does here, because this wind is really something else. I believe it was it this button here, the top right, and you have to hold it down while you do it. There you go. Unlike some of the drones, you tap it and it goes into 360 mode. You have to actually continue to hold it and then give it the directional input you want to go with the right stick. Yeah. And again, this thing's got the power. If this was a brush drone, there'd be no way you could fly this today in this wind. The brushless motors just have that power. And again, if you put 3S on this, boy, you could really, it really would move. But you're gonna strain those ESCs a bit, so you're more likely to possibly experience an ESC failure on 3S just because of the higher voltage. Yeah, just an awesome drone that like I said, I had 2 batteries, one from each of the drones, and probably my oldest battery on the red one. That I don't know if I was trying 3S or what. I remember I just tried to do like a throttle punch with that one, and it fell from about this height. It just lost power, and it hit the concrete driveway at my old house, and it busted a couple of the arms, snapped off on it. That battery, I tried to charge it yesterday, and it's bad. I do try to keep my batteries at storage voltage, but it says on all my chargers there's like an error with battery voltage. One of the cells is bad probably, and it just can't even risk trying to charge it. Yeah, look at that pitch on that thing. That's why it's able to fly so fast with that power. And it can fight the wind, because you want that. Look at that. It makes you wonder, why can't we make awesome drones like this again? Yeah, it's no frills. You know, a lot of people want a camera and GPS, but if you just want a fun flyer and you're not able to do acro mode yet, then this is a drone that, you know, it's nothing wrong with this one. They should still sell it. But I don't know why they don't make like refined versions of this, because my goodness, this thing was so popular, and for a reason. You could pick this up for, you know, 60, 70 bucks with brushless motors, and it was very rare to have a brushless motor drone that wasn't GPS back 5-6 years ago when this came out. And this thing will get like a 12-minute flight time. Now, it probably wouldn't today fighting the wind as much, but I mean, it has an impressive flight time. I mean, you don't see that too often on something like this. Look at the LED. We can over here look at those LEDs before we end this video, because I can see them now that we're in the air. See, we got those white in the front, and we got some of those blue. Well, that's really strong wind, guys. So if my mic's getting wiped out, I apologize. Even with the dead cat, it can't block out that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and land it and we'll end this video. Long press. All right, guys, so again, I apologize if the wind noise was out of control, but this thing is just amazing. Every time I get it out, I forget, man, this thing's so great. Why don't I find this thing more? There's people that used to just fly these on their channel because they were so great that they would literally just dedicate their channel to the Bugs series. The Bugs 2C camera drone was another classic. I'd say the two best Bugs drones were the 3 and the 2, depending on what you wanted. You know, the 2 had the camera in the nose and it had GPS. Non-GPS, the Bugs 3. All right, guys, if you like videos like this, please consider subscribing. And while you're at it, click that bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.